Welcome back, everyone. Today we are taking a deep dive into some powerful words that have resonated with people for centuries. We're looking at excerpts from Psalm 91 in the New Living Translation.
A psalm that's offered comfort and solace to so many.
It really has. And in this deep dive, we want to explore those core themes and promises within this very well-known passage to uncover, that imagery of protection, safety, and trust that it presents.
It's a passage that speaks directly to our human need for security and reassurance, especially in times of uncertainty and fear.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's jump right in, starting with the very first verse. Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. What stands out to you about this right away?
Well, I think that phrase, live in the shelter, really sets the tone. It suggests an active choice, a conscious decision to dwell in God's presence.
If not just a quick visit, right?
No, it's about making a home, seeking refuge, finding that constant sense of security in God's presence. And for you listening, think about what it means to truly live in something, to make it a central part of your life.
To really abide in it, to let it shape your perspective.
Exactly. And how that can bring a different kind of rest, a peace that goes beyond just the physical.
Yeah, a deeper kind of peace. And that leads perfectly into verse 2, which says, "This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust him." It's a very strong declaration, isn't it?
It's incredibly powerful. The repetition of refuge and safety really emphasizes this idea of complete security and protection. And then that personal affirmation, my God, and I trust him, highlights the personal nature of this relationship.
That it's not just a general concept, it's deeply personal.
Right. It's about having that individual connection with God as your source of strength and safety.
In verse 3, there's a shift to a promise. For he will rescue you from every trap and protect you from deadly disease. Now, that's a very comprehensive promise, isn't it?
It is. It speaks to this idea of God's all-encompassing protection, both from things we can see and things we can't.
So the traps could be those unexpected challenges and difficulties that we encounter in life.
Yes, the things that catch us off guard, the unexpected setbacks. And then deadly disease points to those more tangible threats to our well-being.
It's interesting how it addresses both the seen and unseen dangers.
Exactly. It's a reminder that God's protection extends to all areas of our lives.
Now, verse 4 brings in some incredibly vivid imagery. He will cover you with his feathers. He will shelter you with his wings. His faithful promises are your armor and protection. What do you make of these images?
Well, you have this beautiful combination of tenderness and strength. The feathers and wings evoke a sense of nurturing, like a parent bird protecting its young.
Very gentle and comforting.
Yes, but then it immediately shifts to armor, suggesting a more active, powerful defense. It's this amazing blend of care and protection.
It makes me think about how true strength often involves both tenderness and firmness, that you can be both nurturing and protective at the same time.
Absolutely. And for our listeners, it might be worth reflecting on how those two qualities can work together in our own lives.
Moving into verses 5 and 6, there's a real sense of fearlessness. Do not be afraid of the terrors of the night, nor the arrow that flies in the day. Do not dread the disease that stalks in darkness, nor the disaster that strikes at midday. It's addressing those anxieties we might have at any time, day or night.
Precisely. It covers all those different times and types of threats, whether they're visible or hidden, sudden or gradual. It's about finding that deep sense of peace that transcends our circumstances.
A peace that's rooted in knowing you're protected.
Exactly. And I think that's what the psalm is ultimately trying to convey.
Verse 7 is particularly striking. Though 1,000 fall at your side, though 10,000 are dying around you, these evils will not touch you. It's a bold statement about being untouched amidst chaos and suffering.
It is, and it's a verse that has been interpreted in many ways. It may not always mean a literal exemption from hardship, but perhaps a deeper sense of being shielded and preserved through it.
Like having an inner strength and resilience, even in the face of adversity.
Yes, and it might be helpful for our listeners to consider how this verse resonates with their own experiences.
Absolutely. Then in verse 8, we see the observation of the wicked being punished. Verses 9 and 10 bring us back to this idea of choosing God as our refuge. If you make the Lord your refuge, if you make the Most High your shelter, no evil will conquer you, no plague will come near your home. So the protection is directly tied to making that choice, to actively seeking God's presence.
Right. It's about aligning ourselves with God's will, making him our priority, and trusting in his guidance.
Then verses 11 and 12 introduce the idea of angelic help. For he will order his angels to protect you wherever you go. They will hold you up with their hands so you won't even hurt your foot on a stone. What a beautiful image of care and support.
It is. It speaks to this idea that God's care extends to even the smallest details of our lives, that we are constantly being watched over and protected.
It's a comforting thought, isn't it?
It is, to know that we're never truly alone, that there's always a guiding hand even when we don't see it.
Verse 13 shifts to a more powerful metaphor. You will trample upon lions and cobras. You will crush fierce lions and serpents under your feet. This suggests overcoming some pretty significant obstacles, doesn't it?
Definitely. This imagery often symbolizes triumph over those forces that threaten us, whether they're external challenges or even internal struggles.
So it could be about overcoming fear, doubt, temptation, all those things that can hold us back.
Exactly. It's about finding the strength and courage to face those challenges and emerge victorious.
And then finally, verses 14 through 16 are presented as the Lord's own words, directly addressing the reader with these promises. Because he loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. It's an incredible culmination of all these assurances and blessings.
It really is. And I think the directness of these promises, spoken as if from God himself, makes them all the more powerful.
It's like a personal guarantee, a covenant of love and protection.
Yes, it's an affirmation of God's unwavering faithfulness to those who choose to trust in him.
So as we've seen in this deep dive, Psalm 91 paints a very powerful picture of divine protection, refuge, and the importance of trust. It reminds us that amidst the uncertainties and challenges of life, we can find a place of safety and security in God's presence.
And that by actively choosing to make God our refuge, by seeking his guidance and trusting in his promises, we can experience that peace and resilience that surpasses all understanding.
A peace that empowers us to face whatever comes our way, knowing that we are never truly alone. For you listening, consider this. How might these ancient images and promises of Psalm 91 offer you a sense of security and strength in your own life today? What did those metaphors, the shelter, the feathers, the angels mean to you personally? How can you apply these timeless truths to your own experiences and find that same sense of refuge and protection in a world that often feels uncertain and chaotic? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a privilege exploring this with you.
We'll see you next time.